So I want to talk about Attack on Titan and Lost. Really, I'm going to be talking about Attack on Titan, even though largely I'm going to be talking about Lost. Well, let's just roll back to the beginning. Okay, so I started watching Attack on Titan, and I made it about halfway through the first season when my BS meter started going off like a klaxon. Something was wrong. Something was off. So I decided that it was time, and I dove into all of the spoilers. I read, I started pulling up summaries all the way through to everything that's being published now in the manga, and it's okay, what's going on? What's the meta plot? What do we know? What do we not know? And I noticed a pattern, and now we're going to talk about Lost. So, Lost fell victim to a common problem with broadcast television, which is that the serial content for broadcast television is generally intended to go on for as long as humanly possible. You make a series, and the goal, at minimum, is, 6 seasons in a movie. But realistically, everyone is kind of hoping to be the next Law and Order or the next Simpsons with 20 plus seasons, or something like MASH with decades of syndication. But that's just not feasible, and it's not really sustainable. Because the narrative economy is largely based on novelty, being able to generate new episodes, being able to generate new ideas, being able to consistently engage the audience in a way that is both familiar and surprising. That need, essentially, in this economic metaphor, can lead to unsustainable inflation. And of course, the tipping moment is usually referred to as jumping the shark. Lost suffered dramatically as a result of this need to keep things going. The show was initially pitched to the audience as a mystery, and the need for mysteries, the constantly inflating need for new mysteries, bloated the series in a completely unsustainable way, to the point that by the time we were in the 5th and 6th season, they were trying to wrap stuff up, but it was impossible at that point. There was no way that they were going to be able to wrap stuff up because there was too many hanging threads. There were mysteries that they had cooked up in season 1 with no clue how they were ever going to resolve them, and they just never came back to them. Ever. And they were left completely unresolved. And a lot of fans did not react positively to that. Everything I'm saying here, I'm saying about Lost, but I'm actually saying it about Attack on Titan. These problems are not just a problem with the show needing to pad itself out in order to avoid catching up with the manga. These are actually problems that are core to the manga itself, because the manga is also a serial production. Now, this is not a condemnation. Inventing things by the seat of your pants is not a bad way of doing things, it's just a chaotic and unorganized way of doing things. For example, the manga Uzumaki was also being developed by the seat of the pants in a largely serialized, self-perpetuating way. However, as it neared the end of its run, Ito was able to pull all of those together into a very tight, very cohesive ending that really, really resonates. It's a great ending, and fantastic resolution to the series. So just because you're kind of just making stuff up as you go, that doesn't mean you're doomed. It does, however, mean that you're potentially at risk of falling victim to the same kind of ending as Lost, where you have created so many twists and so many mysteries that your entire world is now just one giant pile of self-contradictory information, and there is no way to resolve it in any satisfactory way.